Are we gonna make it? Going live, going live. Just letting some peeps know. Did you like the thumbnail? I mean, it's kind of crazy, huh? There we go. Chat room. Hey, Spudsy in the house. Right on. Good to see you, Spudsy. Already got 2 thumbs up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a good day. It's a good day. Alright, let's close out of that. Put that down there. Let's see. This should go here. And this should go over here. And we'll make it as big as we can. This train derailment. Oh my gosh. I haven't even looked to see it yet. It just happened today. Let's look. Train carrying hazardous materials derails in Detroit, Michigan. Officials say only one car in the train was carrying hazardous materials, which is reportedly showing no sign of leakage or damage. Reportedly. Okay? And officials say only one car. But isn't that what they were saying about that other one? The one that I used the thumbnail for? One car. Hey, Jack! Good to see you. Let's see if they say anything. It's a helicopter, so it's silent. So it's not, you know, anything big yet. But then what are they going to do this time with the hazardous materials? And that's not all, folks. That's not all. There's more. Let's see what this one says, though. This one's the main topic that I picked for today. A train carrying one car of hazardous materials has derailed Thursday in Van Buren Township outside Detroit, Michigan. These are just the headlines. Alright, the cause of the derailment was not immediately clear. Police told Fox 2 Detroit there were no injuries and an area is not a hazmat situation. Ohio train derailment beat Biden EPA administrators, senators to visit East Palestine cleanup. Really? We're going to have senators put themselves in harm's way to visit East Palestine? You're going to go down to ground zero, are you? I mean, how do we know they're not going to use green screen, huh? We're not as dumb as they think we are. Officials that spoke to WXYZ, is that the name of the news? WXYZ? Oh, that's funny. I should have thought of that for news. I am thinking about changing my name, though, to, like, Access Through Christ News. Just so people know that I'm that I can do the news. I can do the news. I don't know how good I am at it, but it's just, you know, a daily choice. Like, for me, I don't have to do it every day, which is fine with me. I could probably, this is what I'm thinking about, like, go all week without anything. And then, like, come Friday, you know how sometimes I'll do, like, 3 hours? I'll just pick the ones that were, like, mark it down, like, that one stuck with me, that one stuck with me, and do, like, a weekly thing. It's just something I'm considering. Because daily, I could get on here for, like, 4 hours. And just, like, kind of chill with it and talk about the, you know, things like everybody else does about one news story for, like, 45 minutes. Or I could go bam, 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 and it could still be 4 hours long. because there's that much crap happening to us. And I say us because it's the world, it's the people, the humanity, and there are so many crimes against humanity. It's making me sick. I can't even imagine how God feels. Like the lukewarmness, he says he wants to spew it out of his mouth. That's how I feel about a lot of this stuff. Okay, so for the one in Ohio, the train derailment, there was some negligence going on there. And then last night, we're going to look at some of that. Last night they had a meeting, and there was like so many people at the meeting. They couldn't fit them all into the school. So, people are pissed. And I don't blame them. Like, this thing was sort of, I mean, it wasn't contained, it was leaking. But, like, you think it's better to, like, just, like, hurt some groundwater nearby and try to set up some sort of, like they do in the ocean, those big suction type foams or whatever that will just like, get the hazardous materials and contain the oil and stuff from the ocean. They could set some of those like right in front of the train where it's derailing or whatever, and then keep sparks away from it, of course, right? Don't blow the stuff up sky high to where it's 100-mile radius of toxic chemicals that can cause acid rain. I don't even know what these chemicals do. There's like 4 different chemicals and they were like, it's worse than what we thought. So what about this one? Is it worse than what you're saying on that too? And then the EPA is like, oh, it's safe in Ohio, in Palestine or Palestine or whatever however you want to pronounce it. I wonder who named it that. Those people, it's safe to go back home. And then they go back home. Some of them lost chickens. Some of them lost foxes. Some of them lost frogs and fish in the streams. So I guess it's just how close were you to the, ground zero? And how many of these chemical plants have we seen blown up in the past month? I mean, I've seen like at least 4 besides Palestine. But that's like around the world. So it was like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like trying to think like, what is the purpose of this? I mean, you can't say that like in 3 weeks, so you got 3 hazardous material explosions happening at plants or trains. You can't say that that's like accident. Oops. I'm just like, my conspiracy mind is like, okay, this is like witchcraft. It's like pharmakia, because you got pesticides, you got chemicals, you got medications. Pharmakia. It's in, Greek. Pharmakon. And you can do some crazy stuff with chemicals. But who taught them how to use chemicals? If you think of the book of Enoch, it was the fallen angels. The fallen angels, I don't know if you remember the CERN video that I did, but they have this thing on their, oh yeah, I got to show you something too on that. I'm kind of getting off track just a wee bit on this one, but it's important. Okay, let's go down here. Right here. The Anunnaki. See that on his wrist? Okay, so they lit it up or whatever. They make these things now with CERN. It's an oxidimeter. Like oxygen. It knows how much oxygen is in your body. And they were showing a guy from ISS, the International Space Station. And they were showing a thing for your wrist. They showed like the bones and then like the tissue. And then it was an insert inside your skin that would go on your wrist. And then this guy here, he's got one. It's got all these little, it looks kind of like a flower, like this around it. And theirs was like they were showing the bones, but it was like an embedded watch inside there. So it made me think of this guy. Okay, so he's got like a pine cone in his hand. He's got wings like an angel, but he's looks like a man or like a king. And then this is a bird man. Let me make that one bigger. See the bird head? And like they're putting something in these flowers. And then the thing on their wrist is also like these flowers right here. And this is, and then it like they stick it in there and it lights up. And they got some sort of a basket or a magnet or I don't know. I don't know what they got in their hand. But watch this next one. Look at that. So that's like DNA, right? I don't know. Are they trying to say this is like the tree of good and evil? And then, isn't that weird? Okay. So here again. They're lighting it up the flowers, and then here, their wrist is lighting up. What do you guys think that means? What do you think that is? So we are pine cone, like the pineal gland. Right, Jack? Oximeter, yeah. Hey, Segway. Alright, so let's listen to this guy at the meeting in Palestine.
What's up, guys? Here in East Palestine, Ohio. Here with, and it's Tom Murphy? Ted Murphy, Mr. Murphy here. And what's your experience been like with this entire situation over the past couple weeks?
Horrific. I'm evacuated out of my house.
No cuss words.
Evacuation, because my 80-year-old mom lives with me. My house was engulfed in fumes. So I got her out, packed some clothes, and then Sunday I come back to get her insulin because we didn't grab her insulin. She needs it.
This past Sunday?
Yeah, no, Sunday before the implosion.
Oh, okay, okay.
And when I left to go back over, the fumes in town were nothing like they were on 170 coming out of that creek. I inhaled that air, and I thought I was going to freaking die.
Oh,
I
gosh.
was gonna die. I almost wrecked my damn truck. The road looked like a wet ribbon.
Whoa.
Tell me I didn't suck something in. There wasn't shit in that creek.
And did you have to go to the hospital, or?
I went to the hospital a week later.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so stressed out about it that when I went into the hospital, as soon as they put a cuff on me to check my blood pressure, I had 3 doctors standing there, and they took me back and put an EKG on me and had a shocker sitting there ready because they thought I was going to have a damn heart attack.
Wow. Wow, I'm sorry about that.
It's got me stressed.
Yeah.
I'm not moving back.
You're alive, dude.
I just got done doing all that work to the outside of it. It's 3 big city lots. I got a big ass yard. I got a bad ass yard.
And now you can't use it.
Now I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
Hopefully my landlord's good about everything because I'm renting it.
Wow. Wow.
I just bought all new
Oh,
appliances,
man.
new furniture, new beds. I made my mom a brand new home.
See, he should get out of his
I gotta
lease.
Yeah.
But, you know, it ain't right.
And
we just want honest answers.
Yes,
The
sir.
creek is dead. There's no doubt about it. You go step on rocks now, and there's oil that comes up out around the rocks. Dead newts, dead lizards, dead salamanders, dead fish, dead snakes, dead frogs, everything in that creek is dead.
They want us dead.
Wow. And this fallout could last years even. People have been discussing. What do you think would be the best case scenario or resolution for everybody? And yeah, what do you hope to see?
I hope to see the environment clean. I hope to see
Jesus will
a
do
very
that.
small window of hazard. I I don't want to see people coming down with cancers. I don't want to see children
That's
getting
gonna
sick.
happen.
But it's in this. It's going to be in the water. There is no
Going
doubt
all the
about
way
it.
down the
It's in water.
Mississippi.
Not in my mind.
Yeah.
When you step on them rocks and oil's still coming out of it, there still ain't nothing in it. It takes a while to come back. Town hopefully will fare well. Where all that shit went to after it went up in the air,
Yeah.
we
Headed
have
to
no
Europe.
idea. What goes up must come down. It don't leave our atmosphere. It gets blown into it. It doesn't leave. It doesn't leave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And are you retired or are you?
I work. I
Okay.
work.
And what do you do? If I can ask.
I'm a carpenter.
Okay. And
Yep.
is your work been affected as well?
Oh yeah, my mind's too occupied.
Nobody's gonna
with
be
worrying
building
about
houses
everything.
there now.
Making sure my mom's taken care of.
Okay, great.
Just what are we gonna do? I gotta find somewhere to live. I got
Yes,
like a couple weeks and boom, I gotta find somewhere to live.
You guys are at a hotel now?
No, I'm staying at my sister's house in Negley where all that pollution went down to.
Oh wow, wow.
So I don't shower there. I don't drink water there.
Oh gosh.
We don't do nothing with it there. We buy water.
Oh my
Buy
gosh.
5-gallon jugs. I just bought 200 gallons worth.
And
I'm
why?
only going to get 2 more 100 gallons worth.
And why'd you buy such a big quantity?
So my sister and them are good to go, and they have water.
Do you think there might be a shortage of purified water?
There might be.
They'll ship it in
Fortunately,
for 'em.
growing up in the area, I know where there's a bunch of springs, so I can go get water that are far enough away from this area.
And-
That shouldn't be the situation.
In light of people's jobs being affected,
If you
their
move
houses
there.
being affected, their home values being affected, what do you think,
Oh,
if at all, what amount
Hey,
of money
Power
would be fair
Lord.
compensation for everybody, or is it on an individual basis? Or
I
what
would
do you
think
think?
it'd be more of an individual basis.
Yeah.
Said and done. I'm not worried about money. I'm worried about my health.
Mm.
You know, I'm worried about all my nieces and nephews' health.
I'm worried
Yeah,
about
Worried
everybody.
about my daughter's grandchildren's health.
Yeah.
She can't even have the grandchildren in her house now. I can't have my grandson come. I don't want them in the area. My daughters don't live down here. I don't want my grandchildren down here.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. No way. My daughter was going to come down. I said, you do not come here. You don't come here. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I know I inhaled shit down there that was in that creek. And that creek was worse than this entire town. There's no way it wasn't. People have no idea. There was no nukesters down there. Nobody hung out on that creek. My partner that I do business with stayed there the entire time.
Oh
How
gosh.
they did it. He put a charcoal filter in his living room, and he put one in his bedroom, and they covered their heads up with their pillows and a blanket and stayed underneath them for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wouldn't you leave?
I would
I'd
left.
leave.
I'd have left.
Yeah.
Shame on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'd have left. I'd have left.
yeah. Yeah.
But
And-
it's a shame. I don't know. I mean, a dollar value on something, there ain't no health. There's no value on your health that way. You know, I want to be here long enough to see my grandson grow.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's about the most important thing in my life. It's the only one I got.
Sure.
You know,
Definitely.
I want to know I'm going to be here. So tell me what the hell I breathed in. Tell me I have no problems from it, and I got the next 20 years of my life to be
Dude,
okay.
none of us have
And
20
what do you
years.
think about
Are
the
you
journalist getting
kidding?
arrested or the reporter getting arrested? Did you see that?
I think it was wrong. Everybody, you guys have a right, man. You
Watchmen,
might not like it at different
you're
times.
late to the
depending on
party.
what side of the page you're on, but you know what? You have that right.
Yes,
You
sir.
have that right.
Yes, sir. Do you think some disciplinary action should be brought against those officers?
Yeah, I think they need to be re-educated on what people's rights are.
Mm-hmm.
Some officers think that, you know, they are the law and they write the law. They don't. You know, we have laws for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Enforce
Yes, sir.
them the right way.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
incriminate people when they ain't supposed to be incriminated. You don't just need to throw somebody on the ground because they're standing ground with freedom of speech.
Right, definitely. And final message, sir, or anything you want to mention to all the viewers out there who may see this video?
I think people just really need to pay attention on what's going on, man.
Good advice.
Toxic, non-toxic, it don't matter when you have a catastrophe. Speak your voice, be heard. Stick your fingers out, stick your head out, stick it all the way out, and be heard. make sure you're heard.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr.
We got
Murphy.
problems, man. We do. There's problems here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your time.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Right. Yeah, we just went over that one, Watchmen. And Jack, yeah, underground, these, like where the sewers are, and it headed into, like, the water plants. So, like, you know, the seepage goes down into, some of the water ends up, like, in creeks, and then, you know, they filter that water. But what if they can't filter those toxic chemicals or something? Like, we don't know, like, what we're getting ready to drink right now. Everybody should have some sort of water filter. If you live, I mean, they're given like 100-mile radius. I would say if you're in the line of the Mississippi River, you should be like filtering your water at the least. You know, we don't know because they're not going to tell us. Like, look how long it's taking to get these side effects of the hokey pokey. And that you can't even talk about. So, I mean, don't be surprised if you get to see, you know, these right now, but then they take these down. All these stories. So what I was thinking is they got all this stuff like going up into the atmosphere, like witchcraft, like a brewing pot, right? And you got these 4 chemicals from the Ohio one, and then they're throwing up some more, and they're blowing this one up, or accidents happen, and all around the country, all around the world, really. And then that concoction, that brewer's, thing is pharmakia. You know, it's like pharmacon. It's like there's this demon over that knows if you get this chemical, that chemical, and the other chemical all up in the air at the same time, you might be able to make a 70 to 80 pound hail ball. Eh? Are we getting close? Are we getting close to the coming of the Lord? We got pedophiles roaming around. Oh, you're going to get to see a good video of a judge that sentences a raper of a 4 and a 6-year-old. I want to go to it right now. Like, I'm so ticked off at these people. Like, boy. And then this one. Experts claim it would cost $50 trillion to make U.S. carbon neutral by 2050. So not only are they going to charge everybody for their carbon footprint, but it's gonna cost you another $50 trillion. Like, that's what they want to make out of it. How much will that lower global temperatures? No one can know for sure. It's like these people have no answer. They're like, let me tell you. I am going to tell you how the American people should just back this because it's the most important thing ever. And you should trust me. Like, none of these people need to be in charge anymore. We need to get the criminals out. And as far as I'm concerned, all these people that have been in for however long, you know, like, there needs to be some sort of answer to this. And on the other hand, just, Jesus is coming. Right? It's like, I could get all worked up about all this stuff, be so freaked out, be like, humanity's dying, we're all gonna die, they got another virus, the Marburg, oh, it's gonna come out and it's gonna, oh, they got a vaccine, it's a 90% death rate, we're all gonna die. Or I can just go, yeah, they're gonna be killing us all, and it's a 90% death rate, like 9 out of 10 people, they're all gonna die. And I could just sit back and go, it is what it is. Just want to live my life. Stick my head back in that nice warm sand. And just go to the beach, man. Just go to the beach. Just hang out in the sun. I feel like doing that, though. Like, we all need that. But you can also, you have resilience. You're a conqueror. You can hear all this stuff, and you can go, man, the Holy Spirit's on fire. We got revivals in the land going on in Kentucky, and people are headed there, and they're praising the Lord, and they don't care. Like, you can kill me, but I'm still gonna live, because I got Jesus Christ in my body. I have the Holy Spirit. So you can kill my body, but you can't kill me. And I'm gonna judge these angels. You're going to judge these angels that are causing all this warfare and chemical weapons. And I can hear myself echoing at the room. How do you guys put up with my voice? We should be worried to a degree, and we have fear of God, because when Jesus returns, it's going to be darkness and terrible. Yeah, well, see, I don't know. I guess you're like mid-trib or post-trib, or I don't know what you take a stance on, Watchmen, but I'm pre-trib. So I think Jesus is going to come and rescue us. And yeah, right now we're having to deal with tribulation, yeah. But the Great Tribulation, that's like Jacob's trouble. And we who are in Christ Jesus, who have believed on the Son of God, on Jesus Christ as the Son of God, we're going to be taken, and we're going to be given a new body, and we're going to have a marriage supper for 7 years. And in the Jewish tradition, the wedding goes on for 7 days. And we're going to have that cup of blessing from the Lord, a cup of, I don't know, this is just off the top of my head, what that cup would be. He said, I will not drink of this cup again until I'm with you. So he's going to prepare a place for us, that where he is, there we may be also. And there are castles, and this is just what I saw in my dream. But then in the Bible, it talks about streets of gold, foundation stones, 12 of them, different jewels on these foundation stones, and there's pearl gates, and each gate has the name of a tribe, and I'm going in under the tribe of Judah, because I'm under Jesus. He's from the tribe of Judah, and I have his blood flowing through my veins. I'm fired up today, boy. I was having some anger, towards all this stuff. So here is the one. This is in Kissimmee, Florida. So we got a plastics plant pots in Kissimmee, Florida. A 5-acre fire broke out at a warehouse storing these plastic plant pots. They don't want us gardening, do they? Hazmat teams are monitoring air quality due to the large amount of smoke coming from the burning plastics. Residents with breathing issues should remain indoors. I say, if you're in the line of some plastic burning, you should probably get your butt into your car and just at least, go in a direction where you're not breathing that stuff in. I mean, we know it's plastics, But these pots, it's probably the type of pots that I bought, like if you buy a tree, it's like a, thicker plastic so that it's heavy duty a little bit. Those pots are awesome. I've got some about this big around and about this tall that are just perfect for my getting my starters on the tomatoes. And it's time to start planting again. So we're in for another year, and people needed these plastic pots, so that sucks. Don't ever give up. Just never give up. Here is Pete Buttigieg, who's like supposed to be in control of some sort of a position over,
So after
and he doesn't state the obvious with what's going on in his state. I'm not even gonna play it. We already know that these people that are put in charge are not good leaders. We need good leaders to stand up, and I mean, we gotta push back on the gates of hell, right? Here's this revival. Maybe this will start off something on people's minds to say, hey, you know, and then just so you know, after this move of the Holy Spirit, of people saying, I'm going to praise the Lord, you know, forget all the fear junk, then, you know, they're going to bring out the Marburg. It's like they've done another event. So the first one was event 201. The second one, I can't remember what the initials are for it. They've planned it, and that's just like a sort of like a pre-planning of what could happen. I forget the name of it. And then, but what happened with the Hokey Pokey was they did that event 201, and then the Hokey Pokey came out. And it was like even the people that sponsored the event, like J&J, were in there. In, you know, part of the solution. So it's problem, solution. And so that's where we're at with the next one, which has, like, if Marburg, I'll show you, well, I can't probably show you what Chris Sky said, but if you go to Chris Sky on Twitter, you can hear what he says about that one. I'm sure you can go over to WHO and see what they have to say about it, because they're saying the same thing, that another one's coming out. Okay, this is the revival. Let's think about something good.
Really political terms. You have to reach for theological language to really
see if I can make
understand
it
it.
any
Some of it's
bigger.
just evil. And who knows why, but it is. And a lot of people are starting to figure that out. And the good news is a lot of people are starting to think more about what happens when you die. They're becoming much more interested in the spiritual life, which has been basically extinguished in the public square for a long time.
Jesus
So here's a
is
sign
the
that people are becoming more
answer
interested.
for
Asbury
the
University,
world
which is a private
today.
Christian college in Wilmore, Kentucky, outside
Hey,
Lexington,
Sherelle.
began hosting a prayer
Oh,
service
glad
a
you're
week ago,
safe.
but it never ended. It's still going on. People just keep showing up from around the world. The university has even set up overflow chapels to accommodate demand. Here's what it looks like.
Hey, Apple. Hallelujah.
So we keep hearing about this. There haven't been many news stories on it, but it's all over social media, on TikTok, actually, of all places. And reports that people are flying
Thank
in
you,
from
Tucker.
Singapore and New Zealand to join whatever this is. And so we thought it'd be worth finding out, what is it? Allison Perfader is the student body president at Asbury University, and she joins us tonight.
Allison.
So nice to come. Thank you. What is this, do you think?
Right, what is this? That's what we I mean, that's the question, right? And a theme or a Bible verse that we've all been sharing with each other is Habakkuk 1. And the Lord says, look at the nations and watch, for I'm doing something in your day that you wouldn't believe if you were told. And it's happening, and we can hardly believe it.
Bring it on.
Well, it seems remarkable. I mean, so many stories, you see them and you think, that's very different. I'm not quite sure what it means, but it's worth learning more. So my understanding is this began in a completely conventional service, and a boy got up and started talking about his own flaws, and then something changed in the atmosphere and it never ended. Is that fair?
That's completely what happened. So here at Asbury University, 3 mornings a week, we have chapel at 10 a.m. sharp. The whole student body gets together and we sing praise to the Lord, and we hear a message from a speaker, and for seemingly no reason at first. On Wednesday, February 8th, it didn't end, and that's kind of the logistical side of what's been going on. And then, you know, on the deeper side of things, what's been happening here since Wednesday is there's a young army of believers who are
army. My shirt says army. Army of the Lord.
As a young generation and as a free generation, and that's why people can't get enough.
That's amazing. So
can't get enough.
It felt like something like this was going to happen because everything finds equilibrium, I think. Who are the people who are coming? Where are they coming from?
Everywhere.
We don't know most of them. We've obviously been getting calls, hundreds of calls to the university switchboard number, but we have friends here from Brazil, from Indonesia, almost every state, and they just keep coming, and it's no wonder, you know, and it's like you said, I mean, especially in the midst of tragedies like what we've seen in Michigan State University and even farther back to 2020, especially our generation was impacted so much, and so you have to wonder, you know, what's going to break. And in this case, the Holy Spirit has interceded for us here at Asbury and across the nation.
I assume you don't know how long this will continue?
I could not tell you, and I wouldn't want to guess.
No, you wouldn't. Allison, thank you. Great to see you.
I just had a thought. Okay, so I was thinking, like, who named Palestine, right? What if Palestine moved to Kentucky and got saved? Right? Palestine gets saved. Yeah? And then that'll be like a message to all the Muslims. So, all the Palestinians came to Kentucky and got saved. Wouldn't that be like a hoot? Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. Alright, here's a thing of the Rothschilds. I'm just gonna like copy this and then put that in the chat room. So you got Illuminati bloodlines here. Everybody memorize these people and we'll know who to jail. Because they're the problems. Those are the problem makers. Well, not all the problem makers. We got a lot of problem makers. And then I got something to say about this video.
Oh, shit! Wait a minute! Oh, damn!
Okay, so there's a bunch of people. Most of them are black. They're in this Dollar General. And I don't know if they're stealing or what. I'm not sure what they're doing. But there was one white guy, and they just beat him maybe to death. I don't know. Just for being white. And this is the mentality that's being taught to children. So like all of these LGBTQ people and messing up our kids' head and anybody in college, teachers that are teaching racism, all that needs to stop too. And I'm telling you, when Jesus does return for the millennial reign, there will be none of this. Right now, we're just seeing the whole world flip upside down. We're seeing what's white is black, what's black is white, and I'm not talking about a race. We're talking about what's good is bad and what's bad is good. Everything's being flipped. So you can't trust what people are saying anymore as far as our officials go. It's almost worth like skipping over what they have to say. Because it's just, let's come out of the cages. You know, I was listening to a song by We the Kingdom. I'm coming out of my cages. Like, I am coming out of these prison walls that they have set up for us. We have to be strong and courageous, do what's right, even though the whole world's doing what's, don't call evil good and don't call good evil. Don't go along with what your spirit, what the Holy Spirit's trying to tell you, because good wins. We're victorious. People that choose to go along with evil, they're going to lose. It's a loser situation. So I just thank God for all of you watchmen and watchwomen. Thank you guys for showing up today. I'm not done yet, but I'm just saying, like, I'm thanking you. Just thank you for being you and the realness that you are. Here's a cage that they want to put people in Australia.
Australia, once a prison island, where criminals were sent for such heinous crimes as stealing a loaf of bread to eat, is now trying to sell these things to Australians called elsewhere pods. A little kitchen in there,
elsewhere
and a little
pods.
toilet section here. It's all on a trailer with a tow bar. And a lady that works in a supermarket came up to me because she thought that I worked for the company because I was videoing it. And she said, yes, I'll never be able to afford a home on my income.
Hey, Norm.
I'm looking forward to buying one of these, living in it for 10 years so I can save up and buy a real place. Absolutely broke my heart. This is essentially the purchase of your own jail cell.
Your own jail cell.
And I'm assuming there will be camps for these.
I mean, we're all in a jail cell, sort of, right now. But, like, they don't want you going anywhere. They want you just staying in your home. They want you to get your stuff delivered by drone. That is if you live through the next phase. There are phases. It's a plan. It's a step plan. It's like they're at step 8 or something now. And what it ends in is the mark of the beast, where you're a literal mind-held slave. Your mind will be imprisoned with the mark of the beast. I have no doubt. Like, that just resonates with me. That's why you can't be saved, because your mind will be imprisoned. And there's, like, they've made a way, like, they could do the fun, I can't say the V word, hokey pokey. It's literally called fun, and then, hokey pokey. But you know the other word. So he's just telling about, this is the one I was telling you to go look up, because he's like, it's a 90% death rate. And now they're going to make another hokey pokey for it. Which might end up, never mind, not allowed to say. So many people. It's just heartbreaking, the number of people already from the first doing the hokey pokey. There were loud explosion sounds over Mission, Texas, and they think it might be a asteroid. So, it says current multiple agencies are reporting a loud bang and shaking near Mission, Texas. Has received 2 reports of blue streaks in the sky and sounds of an explosion over Mission, Texas. Possible meteorite has struck the area. The more concoctions they put up in the air, like, what if they're creating something that could turn into one of these with these chemicals and other things that are farther up in the atmosphere? We don't know what they're doing. Oh, this was a poker player, and I didn't know it, but somebody told me that he did die. And he was talking about how I wish he'd never done the hokey pokey. So I guess he made it to the poker game, but then he later... 3 children, 26 years old, marathon runner, 26 years old, I didn't say anything else. All right. World Government Summit panel discusses the shock needed for the world order transformation. Like the nerve of these people. Like, take names, man. Take name. This is going on in somewhere over there in the Middle East. They got on, see their hair, see their things on their head with the black circle halos.
Transition going to happen. I mean, I totally agree that the world order, the way it is built today, doesn't make any sense. That is not in line with the economic powers like India, Brazil, or Germany. You know that they don't have a massive role in the international order. But to me, the big question is: so how we are going to go through this transformation? It has to be. It cannot be gradual. It has to be driven by a certain shock that will happen. So now we will reconsider this entire.
No, so if your question is that this period could be turbulent, could have violence, could have conflicts, we are already living it.
Yeah.
I think the last 5 or 6 years,
that's nothing,
that
dude.
We are going through a rather turbulent phase. We have lost a large part of humankind.
Just wait.
To the pandemic because we were all selfish. We were not willing to share. We were not willing to use the global institutions to deliver responses to different parts of the world. We have lost people. Now, how much more bloodshed do we need to understand that the transition is upon us?
Lots. Yeah, I mean, you're just sitting in a room with a whole group of people who think they need a shock bigger than that.
How is this transition going to?
We're gonna have to have a huge shock. You know, like 90%. All right, here we have a school in. Let's see, where is this at? Killeen High School. It's a masturbation notice. All students are hereby notified that masturbation in the Killeen High School toilets is a violation of the Killeen Independent District Code of Conduct. It is prohibited to masturbate in the bathroom floors and stalls. Bathroom school pipes are not designed to handle semen. Semen-related costs run into the thousands every year. Oh my gosh. Please refrain from masturbating during school hours and do it at your own times at home. This is the Killeen Independent School District. Thought you guys might want to know about that. All right. Why can't we afford groceries? This is good old Trudeau.
I work at 3 hospitals right now on top of my unpaid placement, and I'm still using my credit card to pay for groceries. So I'm just wondering, like, why are groceries so expensive? Like, I'm eating cookies from the hospital sometimes because I can't afford lunch, and I don't even get a break. I'm eating on the go. So it's just, I wonder why it's so hard.
Listen, all three of you great questions on cost of living. Daisy, the answer is you shouldn't find it this expensive.
Oh my gosh.
And none of you should. You shouldn't be squeezed this way. This is not the way it should be.
This isn't right.
And
this just isn't right.
It's been for a while at a base level, but the pandemic really brought that into
but it's how it's going to be.
Combined with the economic situation we're in right now. The pandemic caused challenges around supply chains.
Excuses?
Food and fuel and fertilizer and all sorts of other things.
Excuses?
That is, of course, rippling down across society. That's the inflation people are dealing with, which is a global phenomenon that Canada is doing better than most, and it's starting to come down.
Liars?
But, hearing that Canada is doing better than elsewhere doesn't help you pay your groceries, all right?
That was cute. That was cute. All right, what's this lady got?
My nephew said Cat was a saint among sinners. My sister, Catherine Ashley, was a great person. Cat didn't hurt anybody. That ain't fair to say. You gonna come to our city and decide you don't like black people. Man, you don't know a damn thing about black people. We're human. We like our kids to go to good schools.
Oh. Oh, I see. He's gonna get him.
So proud of religion. My nephew said Cat was a saint among sinners. My sister Catherine Ashley was a great.
Okay, so this is, this kid right here in the orange, this white kid right here, he must have done something to her son. Says sentencing hearing in Buffalo grocery store, mass shooting interrupted as a man rushes the gunman during victim impact statements. Well, these race wars really should stop. I'll say should, but until people repent and just realize we're all sinners, we're all saved by grace, and start turning from wicked ways, our land is not going to be healed. We should listen to the words of Jesus Christ to pray for our enemy and to forgive others, because this stuff will just escalate. You got 6, 7, 8, 9 cops, and then there was 2 more that headed that direction to protect that white guy, because they know, like, the black people are passionate. I gotta give them that. They're very passionate, and they should be, like, instead of turning on races and like this mentality that's been taught, everyone's doing the best they can with what they got. I mean, I can't say that about everyone. There are people that are pitting people off against each other. But I'm saying black people should stand up in an honorable way with their passion and try to lead, because they are charismatic. I'm telling, like, a good trait of black people. So, don't fall into what the world wants you to do, black people, because the world wants you to be a thug. The world wants you to hate people and use your passion to destroy, like the devil wants to do. But you have the opposite in you, to lead with passion and charisma. So let's, step into your purpose. What was this one? Oh, my friend, I don't think she's in here right now, but she was showing the food and beverages companies of Columbus, Ohio. Pepsi. So these are up north. Columbus is pretty up north. And if you're looking at a box like that, like Ohio, for you it would be the side over here, all the way to the west, up in the corner, is where the 100-mile radius. So it would include Columbus as part of that. So all these companies, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Mars, Bush, General Mills, Kellogg's, Kraft. But, I mean, these companies here are, well, there's a whole ton more. But what she was saying is they make a large percent of the food. They've got a lot of manufacturing companies. So we really need Ohio. Skyline chili, yum. I used to live in Ohio, so, I got family up in Ohio, but they're more in the south. So maybe they're out of range of it. I don't know. But yeah, here's the thing that I chose for my thumbnail. Look at that. That's from a satellite. That's freaking massive. I wonder what, like, if we could find out from one end to the other. That's like gotta be like a nuclear bomb. like as big as at least one nuclear bomb. And they're inside of a window. I think that's what that reflection is right there. Somebody's pointing that out. This is the line to the school. They're all talking. They're all like, can you believe what they did to our, to the world? Blowing that thing up. Last night there was a shooting at Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. I think Agenda Free TV did a thing on that last night for hours. The people of Palestine are pissed off. See them all in here in the gym room. Raquel Welch died at 82. This one, I didn't really care what she had to say. I mean, it was okay. Nigerian security clash with protesters near Central Bank in Benin City. This was crazy. I hear guns. They must have a lot of guns. She's calling out for Jesus. As the world goes deeper into chaos, a lot of these countries don't have any food. So people are going to be stealing. It's escalating. All of this is escalating. We have got to pray and take life as precious, as serious, and just really love each other, because we don't know when a Palestine event's going to come to our town, or they're going to release the Muslims to do more chaos. Here's 73 migrants presumed dead after a shipwreck off of Libya, and they just keep moving people around. Third world countries, bringing in young military-aged men to Europe, to Australia, to United States, down there to Mexico, to come into the United States. And these people are just like, they've seen war, and they've seen a lot of crime, and a lot of these people are criminals. They're shipping them over to places. Now, churches are having people come into their church. They're called psychedelic churches. So, like, if you're into shrooms or ayahuasca or these psychedelic drugs, we got pharmakia churches. No, I'm not joking. There's like 6. Let's see. Let me just read this. As he set up for Sunday services in a dank basement lined with velvet seating and glow-in-the-dark blue tables. Oh, how psychedelic. Steve Urquhart, founder of Divine Assembly, tried hard not to think about the swingers party that took place in the space the previous night. Lovely. They have a lot of fun. I think it's a rowdy crowd, Urquhart, 57-year-old, said, former Republican state senator. And ex-Mormon told Vice News with a mischievous smile, looking a bit like a lumberjack with his white beard and red flannel shirt. We don't have a picture of him. On Saturday, yeah, here we go. We got a video, guys. On Saturday nights, the New Yorker Club has lifestyle parties. By Sunday morning, a few upside-down pineapples, the bat signal for swingers. An upside-down pineapple? Is that what Martha Stewart was doing with her sword? Creating an upside-down pineapple? Sticky floors? Gross. A suspiciously damp spot on a couch. Tasteful nudes on the walls. remained as the Divine Assembly took over the venue. Urquhart and his wife Sarah founded the church 3 years ago, and while the idea of congregating in a club where people have sex may sound counterintuitive, this group is used to bucking norms. Their sacrament, which they use to commune directly with the divine, which could mean God, the universe, or even family members, depending on the person, is psychedelic mushrooms.
All right. We've done our tarot
Tarot
pre-integration.
cards.
You guys got great cards. And so I have a prayer I'm going to begin with and a poem that's adapted for this. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world.
I'm not listening to your evil chant.
Okay, with that.
Like other churches, this one has a sacrament, but it's not bread or wine.
We all have had various forms of mushrooms, but in this one, I grind up the mushroom, and this is...
They're like talking about it like it's all holy and stuff. You know, they grow these mushrooms on a piece of cow poop. Okay? So that's what you're all eating off of. It's a big piece of cow turd.
A strain called B+, which I had my best trip ever.
Where does it come from, the shrooms?
I'd rather not say.
I just told you.
Not everyone in the ceremony wanted their face shown.
Cheers, ladies.
Ew. They're drinking poopy water.
That's tart. All right, my friends, let's get this going. Let's go upstairs.
Now what are they going to do? Are they going to go pray now?
Would you feel comfortable over there?
Psychedelic guides like Marcy Collette usually hold these ceremonies in private homes.
Do you want to get under the covers or just maybe under this blanket?
Oh my gosh.
Intentions and... Okay.
The church has no
Grooming
rules on how to
begins.
do it right. Groups can be rowdy and musical or quiet, like a chapel.
When you come out of your quiet time, we can also open up the windows. Yeah.
This one is basically a spiritual spa day.
What are some of the signs that you look for where you can tell that they're starting to feel the drug? A nice, serene look on their face immediately, but nice, deep breaths. And particularly with this group, they're such a chatty group, so when they're quiet, that means they're going to something, yeah.
They're going to something. What are they going to?
You seen anything move or?
Hey, Kate.
Yeah, just kind of finding comfort wherever my eyes land.
Okay.
Finding comfort wherever my eyes land. I'll tell you what, I did do mushrooms one time. I'll tell you what happened. It felt kind of weird. Like, we got in the pool. Mike was swinging me around in the pool. It just felt good to be in the pool. It really was. I was laughing the whole time. I could not stop laughing. And man, that was many, 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 many years ago. So, I went into the bathroom and I was looking in the mirror, and it was like that movie, The Mask, where I was just smoking like that, and in the mirror, and my face just looked really weird. And I just was woo, weird. It was weird. But I couldn't imagine getting religious about it or anything. All serene and everything, because all I wanted to do was laugh. But
Of religion isn't always clear.
Mike's
In
gonna kill
2020,
me.
a self-proclaimed church in Oakland that was distributing mushrooms as part of its practice was raided
There you
by
go.
police. Security footage captured officers confiscating their drugs. The group is now suing the city.
They're making it legal to do mushrooms now in some states.
Divine Assembly says it has more than 5,000 members. Many of them are former Mormons, who now spend their Sundays at services like this one, in the basement of a swingers club.
Hey, how's everyone doing? All right, good. We have one tenet, which is each of us can commune with the divine and receive direct guidance. That's enough, right?
Okay, so they think that they're reaching God, and I'm not judging or anything, but when you do drugs, and like they talk down here about like the ayahuasca, right here it says shrooms, ayahuasca, peyote, bufu, psychedelic or psychoactive toad venom. It says they have identified at least 19 psychedelic churches, though more likely exist underground and will continue to pop up these drugs as these drugs become more mainstream and legal in some cities and states. So I just thought this was really, God does not like this. I'm just saying, like, it's, you don't know what you're reaching to when you're on drugs. That's the bottom line of all of this. And I just think it's just really wrong to call yourself a church if you're doing mushrooms in a church, especially like if you're like going into some like place where there was just somebody having sex on the couch and then you go do mushrooms on that same couch and try to reach God. I don't really want to say any more about this because it's just making me want to vomit. But if you want to go look at that, I'm sure there's plenty of videos. It's Vice News. We're going to move on from the psychedelic talk. Alright, this one shows where they shot a balloon from the ground and then blew it up. So, I don't know. All this talk about UFOs, same thing. You got demonic entities. Look at these children. You got demonic entities that are just waiting for you to get your mind in a state of pharmakia where they can manipulate your mind and make you think that you've reached God when really you're reaching one of them. One of these fallen ones. So most people that do the ayahuasca, from what I've heard, I've never done that, they are having like similar experiences, like the same experience, not similar, the same experience. And so they're sharing it's not really a trip, well, it's a trip to the dark side, but it looks like light. It looks like designs and things and stuff. Like, look up Clockwork Elves and like these. And when I think of that, I think of AI. Those were Chinese kids preparing for the next generation of soldiers. Just so you know. They're teaching their kids how to shoot people. That's messed up, man. This was the U-Haul killers. At least one killed, 7 others injured by a potential terrorist driving a U-Haul truck in Brooklyn. From what I can remember about this situation, there was more than one. They were in different states. Two days ago, one victim died. I don't know why he did it. Went on a violent rampage with a U-Haul truck in Brooklyn. Multiple people struck. 8 people were injured. I don't know why I was thinking there was like more of them. just so much news, like it all just like poured out all at once. And I was just in a state of like, I don't want to like look at this stuff anymore. Like it's just amazing. All right, here now. This I was glad to hear. This one, you guys are gonna be like, yeah, like this is what it's all. This is why it's all worth it, and you should never give up, because we do have some judges. However, in I think it might be Australia. I think that's what they were saying, or was it Canada? I can't remember who it was exactly that told me this. My memory's not like super great. I think it's because I just shove all this stuff in there and expect my brain to still work. 25 years per raped child, I think, in Australia. Yeah. But this guy, he gets 11. At least he looks like he's about, what, 60? Maybe? 50, late 50s, early 60s. So if he's in prison for 22 more years, that might be enough. Well, he's going to die before then. What am I talking about? Just listen to this.
Pleaded guilty to a sexually oriented child victim offense. As such, you will be a Tier 3 registrant for your lifetime with in-person verification every 90 days.
Tier 3.
Failure to register, failure to verify residence at the specified times, or failure to provide notice of a change in resident address or other required information as described above will result in criminal prosecution.
Evil people. You're gonna love this.
This court is so sick and tired of seeing adults ruin and abuse children. These are literally just one step from being babies.
Let me tell you something. We're all like that. I don't care how old you are. If you live to be 80 years old, that's a child compared to someone who lived 969 years old. Methuselah. So we are all God's children. And you hurt one of God's little children, and that's me, and that's you, then you just wait. I wanted to name this today. I just wanted to name it Judgment Day is around the corner. So watch out, you ugly-hearted globalists, because you guys are going to be really in trouble with God. And I don't care if they believe me. I don't care if they believe every person that's trying to warn them to repent. I don't care.
They come to a daycare. Those parents struggle so that when they release their children to someone during the day, they have some semblance that that child is going to be protected and safe.
Little kids.
Not let alone 2 of their children being raped by your own admission, sir.
Admitted it.
For sexual gratification, you violated a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I do not know at this time what the total ramifications will be for those 2 young children, but there isn't anybody who doesn't understand now the developmental phases of children take place from 0 to 6 years old. You can't even know what damages you've done for sexual gratification. This, to me, is so mind-boggling that you used and abused 2 little children like they're inconsequential beings. Those are human persons with human dignity. The mere fact that they're small little people that can't fight off adults, that's why an adult left them with adults. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. McFadden. There's no free rapes in my courtroom. On count 1, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. On count 4, I'm sending you to prison for 11 years. They will be consecutive to each other for a total of 22 years. You have 32 days jail credit. At this time, the court finds it necessary to protect the public from future crimes, to punish the offender, and to find that consecutive sentences are not disproportionate to the seriousness of the offender's conduct and to the danger the offender poses to the public. Folks, If you see it, you smell it, you know it's happening, you report it. These are little children that are the future. I hate to sound so cliche, but the children are our future, and if we're destroying them, we have no future. And this ends in this courtroom. That'll be all. Fines and costs are waived.
It doesn't end in the courtroom, though. Guess where it is gonna end? Anybody who goes, like, into that jail with that guy, he's dead meat. There's people in jail that won't put up with child rapists. Though he's on his way to hell unless he repents. Which, you can do that. That was... Oh, here's a phone number. Toxologist for questions and concerns. Norfolk Southern Derailment. Wonder if we could ask him a question. Let's just try it. What are we going to ask him? Anybody got any ideas what we should watch? What we should ask? 542-6474. This is, let's see, toxicologist for questions and concerns. So we're calling a toxicologist. Let's see what their job is first. Toxicologist. Qualifications. Becoming a toxicologist. What is a toxicologist? A toxicologist is responsible for investigating the adverse effects of chemicals. Okay. Hold on one second then. One second, please. Yeah, Sherelle, they'll probably tell you to go to your local doctor to get a form of pharmacia for that. So, let me see if I can find these chemicals. Because we got one that, like, okay, here's a question I want to ask. Maybe keep thinking on that one, though, because I could ask them that. Let's see. If they even answer the phone. I'm trying to find... Here it is. Ethylene glycol monobutyl ether. Okay, I want to ask them the combination of these four chemicals. Has there been any studies on the mixture of these pharmacia? Let's see if they answer.
Hello, you have reached the Taggart Incident Hotline.
Taggart?
Please hold while we connect you to a toxicologist.
Toxicologist. Let's just pull this over here. Alright, they might put us on hold for an hour. We don't know. We'll turn them down a bit. Alright, what else we got? Okay, China. They've been given lesser health benefits. So all the elderly people, and one ends up on the ground. But they're just like pushing back against the cops. Like, if you can't just like push against the cops, that's not going to do anything. The cops are just like the cog in the wheel. So is this toxology person. You know, it's not their fault. So I'm not going to blame them or anything. But, you know, what do we think about the people who are really in charge and then people that are young people look up to, like Rihanna, and you got all these blood clot suits, just like out in the open, evil. Look at her. Oh, that's so gross. You got suits, white suits, and then this guy's mocking Jesus on the cross. The one that lived. Damar Hamlin, mocking Jesus. So is this guy. That all those people died. So is this guy. Look at that. Jesus on the cross. Upside down. Mind control. It's like they're just putting the triangles in your face and everything. It's all in our face. It's like, what are we going to do about it? I mean, if we don't, it's going to come to a crescendo. People are going to wake up so much, they're like, we've had enough. And then they're going to do something. And it's still checkmate, but at least we should come out and tell the truth. As we see the degrading happening with World Bank President Malpass announces resignation. Why do you think that the president of Malpass... Hello? Did you hang up on me? Hello? Still on waiting, I guess. Beep. Am I leaving a message? I'd like to know what to do. My face is falling off. My face is falling off. I need to know what to do. Am I leaving a message? Hello? My face is bubbling and my face is falling off. I need to know what to do. Should I go to the emergency room? Should I leave town? Did you guys hear a beep? I heard a beep. I don't know if I'm still on hold or not. Chris Como was going to kill everybody. He says he was going to kill everybody. Listen.
I had to accept. Because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me. Accepted. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me. Accepted. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody. Including myself.
That's pretty bad. I mean, I don't even know why he was going to do that. See if there's anything on it. Did I leave a message? I don't even know. I feel like they've hung up on me. Let me try them again.
Hello, you have reached the Taggart Incident Hotline.
Oh, he got fired.
We connect you to a toxicologist. Thank you.
Let me know if you guys hear what they say this time. Okay, I'll just kind of put the sound right here. Can you hear me and the music both? Did I leave that message? Hi, Katrina. I have a question about these toxins that have been dispersed into the atmosphere.
Okay.
I've heard that vinyl chloride causes cancer. Is that true?
That is true at sufficient concentrations. over a long enough duration, it can cause an increased risk of cancer.
So if you're living in the 100-mile radius, how long would it take for that chemical to show up that you got cancer?
Based off of the air concentration data, I can only speak primarily to what's in the air, since I have access to that real-time data. We aren't seeing any elevations or detections of vinyl chloride in the community, so we would not expect an increased risk of cancer.
What about like when it rains, then it'll just come down, right?
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, vinyl chloride breaks down in the atmosphere after a few days. It transforms into I think hydrogen chloride as well as carbon dioxide. But I'm not the most well-versed in, atmospheric science. So, after a few days, especially, it's been about a week or so since the burn off occurred, I wouldn't anticipate there to be much vinyl chloride in the atmosphere at this time.
Is that the one that's most concerning, or what would be the next most concerning out of the four?
Yeah. So out of the four, I believe, let me pull up the list of the four. So we have vinyl chloride would be one because of its carcinogenic properties. The other would be, let me pull it up. Are you referencing the EPA letter to Norfolk Southern?
The isobutylene and the ethyl.
Isobutylene, yeah.
Is that the next most dangerous?
I wouldn't rank isobutylene as the next most dangerous. I believe the occupational exposure limit for isobutylene is relatively high. Let me take a look. It is in the 800 parts per million, so we would definitely be able to detect it with instrumentation if it were present in the environment at concentrations of concern. And then let me take a look at the other chemicals you might be looking at.
Ethyl hexyl.
Yeah, ethylene.
Yeah, and the ethylene glycol.
Ethylene.
Are there people that are keeping an eye on with the weather, like if it's going to rain on top of this huge cloud that can be seen from space?
Is it still visible from space? I'm not certain of that.
I'm not either. I mean, it would be interesting to know the diameter of it too.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was massive.
I'm not sure about, the atmospheric coverage of where, the cloud or the burn-off release covers, but, we are doing 24-hour monitoring around the clock in the community of East Palestine and, the greater area of East Palestine to monitor for these hazards. Our instrumentation is able to detect below concentrations that would be of concern, so that we would be, the team would be the first to know what's in the air, what's the present threat, even if there's changing atmospheric conditions, say with rain or various changes in wind direction or wind speed.
Are they going to be giving their reports to the public, or do they go
as far
through?
As I know, the data goes to Unified Command. Unified Command is staffed by, federal and local agencies like the EPA. And I believe the EPA, if you Google EPA, East Palestine Train Derailment, they have a number of, they provide daily updates as to what the air monitoring is like and showing. And it provides a number of documentations of the raw data collected by the EPA.
Have there been any tests as to mixing these chemicals together, either 2 or all 4, to see what it would do?
I'm not certain. Yeah, I'm not certain if they've performed that sort of testing yet. But we are, monitoring these individual constituents and considering the hazard, hazard posed as a whole.
Yeah, there's been a lot of these hazardous material explosions lately. I'm noticing.
Yeah.
It's pretty frightening to the whole world, because that could just go right over the ocean and, come down on some more sea life or islands, or I'm just wondering if they're notifying anybody that it's coming their way. Or how long does this? How long do these things stay up in the atmosphere?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have that information.
You're just basically with humans, how it affects humans. Is that what?
My focus is primarily that environmental impact is important as well. My focus is on strategies for monitoring within the air. And, so far we have not seen any detections of vinyl chloride, phosgene, hydrogen chloride in the greater community.
How long would it take for that to show up?
It would be immediate. We would be able to detect it within the air immediately. So if there are changes in site conditions, we would be alerted immediately by, our real-time instrumentation. It can detect things in real time, and that's why we and the EPA perform both real-time air monitoring to get that instantaneous data,
right,
as well as analytical. So analytical, we sample over the duration of, say, 12, 24 hours, and that allows us to get to detection limits or concentrations detectable by instrumentation at a much lower concentration. So it can give us information as to what is in the air at much lower concentrations.
As far as the vinyl chloride goes, or the next dangerous one down, is there any way, if someone was exposed to that for several hours, that were real close to the explosion, is there a way for them to do some sort of detoxifying?
Most of the hazards present in the derailment are, besides vinyl chloride, have very, acute effects. You would notice a lot of respiratory irritation, etc. You would know that you were exposed to high concentrations. None of them linger for a long time in your body. Even vinyl chloride is detoxified from your body, if you are exposed to low concentrations within, I'd say, 20 hours.
Yeah, and then high concentrations, how long?
At high concentrations, it might take longer. It really depends on a person's liver function, but we haven't seen any data that would indicate that people are being exposed to high concentrations of vinyl chloride in the air.
I saw one guy from the meeting last night. Mm-hmm. He definitely was involved. He got a high dose. Hope that guy's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time and the information. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too. How was that? Unified command at the EPA. I'm just marking that down in case further things, because there's been more than just one. Oh man, watch this scene. Your
father created a world-changing, not world-ending, a world-changing, world-improving omnivirus. And we have taken that virus and embedded it in the vaccine of the Stearns flu.
I knew it. I knew it. He created a panic, and now everybody's begging for the vaccine.
No. Demanding it with all the entitlement of a first world country.
Yes. And now we have exactly what we want. Hundreds of millions of Americans lining up, offering us their arms, and letting us give them our creation.
I'm pretty sure when every vaccinated person starts dying, they'll trace it back to undetectable virus or not.
You've all been very busy. You're all
He's
very
doubtful.
sharp. Are you sure none of you would like to come and work for me? No? Then understand this. What we are doing is far bigger than death.
Wait, this virus is not deadly.
It looks pretty damn deadly.
Tell me this. What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world?
None of your business.
Everything I do is a cure for our current situation.
Doesn't it just like anger you? Oh, it's like they have their reasons, right? For why they're just like doing that kind of stuff.
Yes.
All right.
Not garlic. Maybe garlic.
Alabama had a helicopter crash. And it was a military helicopter crash. Right in the road. All of the people died that were in that helicopter. Brewell, Alabama. Multiple law enforcement agencies are responding to a U.S. military helicopter crash. Highway 53, Burwell Road, Madison County, Alabama. Multiple people are seeing a thick smoke with large flames shooting out of the helicopter, saying no one likely survived. So there was that. Some more smoke up into the atmosphere, but make sure your carbon footprint stays nice and small, okay? While we have thousands and thousands, there it was falling. You see it? Did you see it? I'm pointing with my finger, like right there. See it? It's like, yeah. Decline America. Okay, wait. So, all crew have been killed. Near Huntsville. There have been 6 Russian spy balloons shot down over Kiev, February 15th. That was yesterday. So the spy balloons are everywhere, guys. They're everywhere. They're probably one over your home. You think you got just like a drone over your home, but you got like levels of spy stuff over your home. Everywhere. That's the space junk, in my opinion. Alright, let's see. They're saying cows are destroying the planet, so say goodbye to your milk. Say goodbye to, the stuff that you need for your garden, because you need their poo, cow manure, to help with the soil. Let's see. This was a chemical fire, Norway, Ohio. Okay, wait a minute. Norway, comma, Ohio, Louisiana, Texas, Hawaii, and now Montreal. This is within weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 within weeks. So this one's in Norway, I think is what they said. They're creating weather warfare with this stuff. Whether that's their plan or not. I saw in my dream a hurricane that went from Japan to America. To California. Japan to California. The hurricane was that big. It took up the whole Pacific Ocean. unless you have some sort of chemicals to do that, I don't see how that could be a natural thing. I don't see how you could come up with a 70 to 80 pound hail ball either. Am I still live? Okay. Alright, how long have I been going? We should probably cut it short. You think? Or should I keep going? You guys don't ever tell me, like, are you done? Hey, I could look at this thing and see if you're done. Like, if you're still watching, I could see. Average view duration, 20 minutes. See, you only got like a 20-minute attention span. Current viewers, well, we still got 8 people hanging on. So you 8 people should speak up if you want me to keep going. I've been going an hour and 40 minutes. That's a long time. Should we go 20 more minutes? I mean, I got all kinds of stuff I could show you. And a lot of it is like this. Like more of this. Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got an oil chemical tanker at the port of Catoosa. That one wasn't on the list. Oklahoma, right? Let's look. Was Oklahoma on the list? Oklahoma is not on the list. And yet today we have another one. Oil chemical tanker at the port of Catoosa has caught fire, causing evacuations on site. And then, I mean, that's a huge thing. Got out the fire hoses. Officials say welding repairs started the fire that led to temporary evacuations. This afternoon, the fire has been extinguished, no longer a threat. Okay, well, that's good. That covers today's chemical disaster. Any food processing plants to hit today? Alright, this was a thing in Mecca. Some people were saying last night they thought this was really real. Let me know what you think. If you think this is real or fake. I mean, part of it's fake, but part of it's real. I think the black box is fake. Look how clear this box is compared to everything else in the picture. What do you guys think? Real or fake? It's basically just like a lightning, but the thing that I immediately thought of was like they're trying to updo Jesus, the Del Rio thing that happened. There was a statue. Keep track where the revivals are. I mean, you could start a revival right in your little city. You just get out in the street and say, let's praise the Lord. We better start praising the Lord and repenting or we're all going to die. Would be way more people there. That's a good point. Especially if it was where they all have to go, the Hajj or whatever, where they all have to like go to. But yeah, they're all like circling it. Usually a lot of people are circling it. I'd say fake. These are lions that are just seen roaming on the streets in Gujarat, India. Scary. Wait till they all get so hungry because there's a famine and they just start attacking people. I made a GIF out of this guy. And I added him to my favorites so that I could just have them on hand whenever I want to send somebody a nice little gift during the next pan, you know what. Here is a large fire in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem had some shootings this past week, and some rockets went off from probably Gaza, and I'd say my phone went off 3 times, which for people over there, when they hear the alarm go off like that on their phone, it's called red alert. They just like head to their basement and they put like a blanket over their head. This is from Palestine, whatever you want to call that place, Palestine. The water that they're boiling has some sort of foam. That's pretty gross. I don't think I'd drink that. No. Would you drink it? I'm not gonna drink that. Would you drink that? This is Obama, like, crowning Bill Gates with some sort of an award. None of these people, it says no single client has been arrested. Meryl Streep, Barbara Streisand, maybe Woody Harrelson, I don't know who that is. Oprah Winfrey, they're all getting a 5-pointed star. Bill Gates, his wife even got one. Ellen, Tom Hanks. Okay, here's another hazardous material turned over in Tucson, Arizona on the I-10. That's some nasty stuff, whatever that is. That is disgusting. Look at that. It's like a nuclear fallout or something. Massive, nasty. Look, that truck's like, I'm not going through that. Back up. Go the other direction. Cross over this dirt barrier and just like don't go through something like that. You're going to drive through a cloud of some sort of radiation. That looks like radiation, doesn't it? Steven Spielberg. Very good. KK. That's right. Chloride spill. Here's another one. Oh, okay. Has now entered the Ohio River Basin. Why is the Palestine, Ohio vinyl chloride spill not being covered?
After a chemical spill of vinyl chloride happened in Palestine, Ohio, authorities said it was safe to go home. Meanwhile, cattle, fish, and chickens are dying as far as 25 miles away.
25 miles away. Did you guys see the one with the chickens? There's a shortage of gas in Iran. And they're the second largest natural gas reserves. And there's like a shortage there. And Iran is supplying China with 15,000 drones. This was February 9th. So they're getting ready to send these drones. China-Iran close ties say Beijing will unswervingly develop friendly cooperation with Tehran, Iran. So China's getting the drones from Iran now. And here they are. Chinese Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh, and Ayatollah Khamenei. And here they are marching. 2 heads of the snake meet in China. An armed NATO weather research balloon would be nice. They're all ready for war. Everybody's ready for war. I'm ready for peace. I just want peace. This is the one in Palestine. So this was like supposed to be a controlled burn. Like it was leaking, and then they lit it on fire and let it explode up into the atmosphere. Turkey. These people just like, they went and saved the babies out of this hospital. It's like heroes. Got the babies out. Yeah, this was in Montreal. Okay, this one was in Montreal. And she says that's 5 now. Like recent. 5 recent ones. This one is Iran. A girls' school. Attacks are carried out using what? Chemical gas. Some more chemicals. I'm telling you, it's pharmakia today. Like, everything's going to be just poison. Everything's poisoned. They're poisoning everything. And then even the bugs they want you to eat is like poison. Look at this poor guy on Valentine's Day. He's like, just trying to get the balloon, man. He drops the flowers. He drops the chocolates. The balloon's all deflated. But you know what? It's the thought that counts, right? Poor guy. Look, he's like, I don't know if it's the florist or if it's a husband. I wonder if he puts the chocolates back in the little papers and tries to feed them to his wife. Oh, look how downhearted he is. Well, Lord bless him. Bless him for his efforts, God. That was precious. I'm not going to say these cuss words. Something about a racist. I don't know. I don't care. Look at this girl. She's imitating the balloon guy. The big black balloon outfit with the high-heeled. Sam Smith at the Brit Awards. Oh, that's his name. Okay, I have to show you what she's doing here. Sam Smith Brit Awards. Okay, here he is. And this was like around the time with all the balloons. And he dressed up as a big black balloon. Isn't that weird? Like, it's now, like, everything's gonna be like creepy clown balloon stuff. It's already creepy clown balloon stuff. What am I saying? So anyway, she was imitating him. I thought that was really cute. What else do I got? Okay. Oh, check this out. This was in Russia. What is that? Is this like something from bombs? What is that? That's creepy, isn't it? There's some weird stuff going on. Strange signs and fearful sights. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
What we know for certain tonight is that there is chaos in America's domestic airspace. That has never happened before.
They're everywhere. Just like, we have to just wrap our head around that. The balloons are everywhere. It is clown world. Mark Milley, he had some stuff to say in a video that I might get to. Let's see, this is Damar Hamlin. Oh, he says he wants to stay away from the Y.
From the ICU, the question on so many minds, what causes heart to stop beating? You're 24.
He was paid to not say anything. I can guarantee it.
Peak physical condition can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
I know.
How do doctors describe what happened to you? Like, he's not allowed to talk about it. He's like trying to think, how can I say this without... Because I can't say that, and I can't say that, just like me. I can't say nothing either. Because people like you get paid off to not say anything about it. And even if you did, I wouldn't be able to say anything about what you said about it. So, I want some of that money. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, the Air Force is flying autonomous aircraft. So you got these type of massive jet fighter planes that are AI, basically. We got not just little drones in the sky. We got fighter jets that are drones in the sky. Okay? We're full on Terminator now. It could pop off at any minute. And just the fact of the earthquake happening, if that was a weapon with HARP. Let's just see what the death toll is now. Because I said 50,000 day one. Let's just see. 40. They're at 40 now. 40,000 now, the deadliest event in Turkish history. So I don't know where that number came from in my head that day. And I know I was going out on a limb to say it. And I understand why people probably thought, oh, I'm crazy, or just don't even listen to her. They probably just forgot that I said it at all. But yeah, day one, I was like, depending, on the population, depending on how populated the area was, but just from what I was seeing, I don't know why that number came to my mind, but I was just like, I bet you 50,000 have died. Now, I did see somebody about 4 or 5 days ago put something up saying that it could reach 100,000. So, I mean, and this could be a couple of months from now before they can even unearth all of those people. But it's up to 40. That makes my heart just like ache. And they're still like 210 hours after the quake, 2 women were rescued from the rubble. So if there's 24 hours in a day, somebody do some math. Where's the calculator? 210 divided by 24. 8 days. Almost 9 days later. This was the last one that I found. 9 days later. Now somebody put up the lying face. But if they had a bottle of water and they just like sipped on it to keep alive, or like Mike was saying, they might have had rain and there'd be like a mud puddle, they could be, making it 9 days later. But I did see some stuff that made me wonder whether some of it was becoming fake. Like people that were pulled out of the rubble that didn't have any dirt on them. Their hair was all nice and combed and everything. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, look at this guy. He would have like dust in his hair. And I could be wrong. I'm not trying to take away anything from anybody. So the 14th, oh, that was 2 days ago. It passed 40,000. So I wonder if they have an update on theirs. 40,000. What's this? Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis has frontotemporal dementia. Okay, your front temporal. That sounds like your frontal cortex. The place where if you get the hokey pokey, you lose the one of the, I can't even say. Never mind. Magnitude, okay, we had another earthquake in Turkey of a 4.7 and a 5.1. See, that could even cause some more buildings to come down. Biden to give a speech on unidentified objects. Did anybody watch that? I'm like, bull on the UFOs. Those are military. I mean, we just saw you even got fighter jets. So, Crimea had some stuff. Air sirens in Ukraine. Okay, let's see. Oh, this guy. Okay, alright. He was a pretty good little speaker, but basically he's saying that they trained on the Leopard tanks that were sent to them from UK, and they're good to go. They are ready for action. Here's the girl with the chickens.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found.
Sad,
Amanda
man.
Brashears
Look at
was
that.
going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure.
I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family.
Brashears says her chickens were alive and well yesterday. She believes the smell following the detonation of the train carrying chemicals that derailed in East Palestine.
Okay, we already know about that. Okay. Oh, whoops. Well, let me see. Alright. We've gone through a lot. You guys had enough yet? Puppy rescue? No, I didn't see the puppy rescue. Third eye. It's missing the tattoos and freckles. Oh, the Hamlin guy. The tattoos missing. All by design. Yeah. 5. You want me to go till 5, Sputsy? Okay, let's see. Oh, these are some people that were just stealing from Walmart right before they close, and they're like going out there trying to get the plate number and stuff. We go get the tag number. I'm like, yeah, dude. She's like, heck yeah, man, I'll go get the tag number. Watch this. I'm sick of people stealing and lying and committing adultery, all these sins. Like, we gotta do better, guys. Like, if you knew that you had, say, what is this? February. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. If you knew you had 7 months left before Jesus returned, and you wanted to make the Father really proud of you, just like, God, I finished the race with enthusiasm. I finished the race, you know, setting things up for whoever comes to my place to where they can find the gospel if they get left behind. If you could make the Father proud of you by just getting up and saying, God, let your will be done in my life today. If you could just get up and just make your family some breakfast. Or if you could get up and you could go to the store and, like my friend Jack said, like, just tell somebody about Jesus. Tell them about how the good news that Jesus came. Did you know Jesus died for you? Are you saved? Like, if you just could tell one person in the next 6 months, 7 months before he returns, like, if you could just make him proud to just, like, be awake, be aware, listen to the Holy Spirit, get good at hearing God, just, you know, practicing loving people, with having faith, hoping the best in someone instead of thinking that they're going to do the worst thing possible. Like, not being defeated. Like, be an overcomer. If you had 7 months to do that, is that too much to ask? Is it possible for the next 7 months that we could just be like gung-ho, like warriors, like we're in the army of God, we're going to put on our armor, we're going to stand in the midst of all this storm, in the midst of being, radiated or acid rained or given cancer or given, I keep saying herpes because that is one of the side effects of the hokey pokey. It's like there's like 11 things to say that on there. I'm just like, I'm kind of laughing at it. It's kind of funny. Now I do get a fever blister, so you could say, but that would be really gross. Like, to get that. Like, can you imagine the wives and the husbands like, you cheated on me. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. I never had this before. And it's your gates of hell guy giving that to you, Like, you gonna, like, never mind. I'm not gonna go there anymore. Nope. Let's see. Oh, this guy gets arrested for coming into the stadium. He wanted to see what they had to say, but they wouldn't let him. I have a feeling that he must have said something. So I don't think they're hiding in it. Maybe he was the thing that, look at this helicopter going through the town. Maybe he was the, thing that set it off to where they were like, oh man, if we don't appeal to these people, if we don't do something to help like calm these people down, we're gonna have a riot on our hands. What are they gonna do for them? Are they gonna look at the skies, look at that, look at all that. Even before this, they were harping the crap out of those skies. Look at that! Look at that! Those skies are completely chemtrailed. And those things that put signals, they cause those little ripples. Oh my gosh. Ohio. Poor Ohio, man. Just keep praying for these people, and wherever these clouds end up, that stuff's going to just come on down. If you're in the path of that, get out. Get away from that. Oh my gosh. So this one, what was this one? Moscow. Moscow, here's theirs. Something burning. So this is all like sketchy, man. This was at Niagara Falls. Isn't that near Ohio too? Fake? You think that's fake? That could be fake. But there are these like circular cloud things showing up like in Turkey right before the earthquake with a big red cloud around it. But it could be some sort of portal. They're calling this a UFO. But it could be, like, they could be opening up portals. This was a gas pipe explosion east of Moscow. That might be the same one from above, just a different view. These are their concerns. Oh, that probably could have answered some of my questions. But wasn't it fun to call them? That was fun. I was like, hey, there's a phone number. Let's call it. What's this one? Rocks drop on what appears to be an IDF vehicle. That's Israeli defense. There's a lot of stuff going on in Israel. Tear gas going from the car. Look at that. Dang! So there's that going on. Texas. This was South Carolina. One in Texas, one in South Carolina. How's that saying go? One's an accident, two's a coincidence, three's a conspiracy. But hey, look at the UFOs! Alright, this one was South Carolina. Nori, South Carolina. The train derailment. I don't know if there was hazardous materials or not. This one was the one in Houston, Texas. This was the South Carolina. What was this? Function lies to her face. Oh man, Rand Paul. Wish I could know what this was.
It's estimated that between 5 and 18 million people died from COVID-19 worldwide. To a significant number of scientists, the evidence suggests that this originated from a lab leak in Wuhan. Does the State Department fund coronavirus research in China?
Do we fund coronavirus? I don't believe so, but I don't know. I'll double check and we'll get back to you on that, Senator.
The answer is yes, you do. And it's been going on for more than a decade, and it's done through a program called Predict and then the Global.
Okay, just FYI, I'm just going to play this for the last one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this last 5 minutes of the video. Because, listen, you think that it's just like people that are alternative media that are getting censored? No. Senators. Okay? High doctor officials are getting censored. And these people are going to be held in Nuremberg trials that silenced people. I'm just saying that straight up. Because, and even if they don't get in trouble, all that stuff that happened with Pfizer and the director guy and all of that, he should be in jail right now. And Fauci and Bill Gates, all these people should already be in jail. They're walking around. Rand Paul has exposed Fauci how many times? And it still keeps happening. I mean, I'm trying to gather some of this information and put something up on Rumble, because information is being sold now that has been censored. People have kept all these videos that are being censored and they're selling it. Alex Jones could be sitting on a fortune. Okay, so after this video, we'll stop. It's like 5 minutes. So thank you all for coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you're not going to hear that part of the message, so, because I'm going to cut it off. All right, I love you guys.
Virome. And why this is important is we had 1 million Americans die, and we really haven't had any discussion of this.
1 million.
No hearings, nothing. People are unaware that they're even funding the research.
We're funding our own death.
House unclassified report that money is going from the NIH to American universities to the Academy of Military Medical Sciences Research in China. We are subcontracting money and sending it over, but millions is coming from the State Department. So the idea is this: we will identify all the viruses in the world and we'll be safer because we identified them. But here's the question: are we safer to have some guy or some woman crawling down a cave 10 hours away from Wuhan, coming up with bat guano, coming up with viruses, and bringing it to a city of 15 million like Wuhan? This is what's been going on for a decade. It's a setup for an accident. It's a setup for a mistake. And nobody's doing anything about it. We continue to fund it. The main group that's been getting this money is Eco Health Alliance, over $100 million, a lot of it through the State Department. They continue to get money. They don't file their reports on time. They didn't stop their experiments. And yet we reward them with more money. 15 million people died, and we haven't done a thing about it. Nobody seems to care. We're not even sure we fund it. The State Department's a big funder of this project. It's a multi-decade-long project, But there are scientists, as we speak, from Stanford, from MIT, from prestigious universities around the country. These are not partisans. Most of them are not Republicans who stand up and say, oh my God, what are we doing? Bringing these viruses from remote bat caves to major metropolitan areas and with no controls over this. So we've been asking for information from the State Department because we want to know more about this. U.S. Right to Know has been sending FOIA requests for 2.5 years, and they don't get anything. So, Mr. Chairman, I've sent 2 letters. Some of them are 6 months old now, and we get a, whatever.
See, because these criminals, they're just like, we don't have to say anything. You send us all the requests you want. We're getting away with it, and you guys can just suck it up because we're in charge. That's what it is.
We're not going to give you any information. What I would hope for is that we could have, people always talk about bipartisanship.
Yeah, but you're like on hopium. You're like hope. Thinking of the good people, thinking, these people are good, and they're not. They're evil.
Would we not get bipartisan support for records? This is
Wake
not
up.
partisan. We want to know what the U.S. State Department is funding. NIH resists.
And the people in America are just like, yeah, Rand Paul, you go, you tell them, you say, and then we'll get what we need from them because you've exposed them now, and the truth is coming out. Oh, truth's come out, but they don't care anymore because they're still in charge until you can somehow arrest these people, send the judges and the attorneys and the people that can't be bought off. To get these people rounded up, we're at checkmate.
Our requests on their funds. The 2 things that we know for certain that have led us to believe this came from the lab that are big came because one was leaked, and this was a DARPA request. So the Chinese researchers in China wanted from DARPA money to create a virus that, guess what, looks exactly like COVID-19. They asked for it in 2018.
DARPA.
Turned them down. Fortunately, we did the right thing for once. We turned them down. That doesn't mean they didn't do the research. And so many scientists had an aha moment. They saw this and they said, oh my goodness, they asked for money to create something that looks almost exactly what we got. So in nature, you do not have coronaviruses that infect people that have what is called a furin cleavage site. Chinese said, give us money, we were going to stick a furin cleavage site to allow it to infect humans more. We found out that not because you let
gain
us
of
know,
function,
or not because the NIH let us know, they still resist. This is top secret. This is classified. This is a whole problem of classification, but it's also to cover up things. So we don't know anything about the 28th thing, but we had an illegal leak that went to somebody in the media that's now public that said the Chinese wanted to create a virus just like COVID-19 in 2018. The other thing we know is 3 researchers in the Wuhan lab, in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, got very sick with flu-like symptoms similar to COVID in November. We only know that, though, because the Trump administration on the way out declassified it. So we have to get over all the classification. We also have to be more forthcoming. And I'm hoping the chairman will consider looking at our requests. These are not partisan. We want to know all the information about funding of research in China. We want to know the interactions. There were cables going back and forth between the State Department saying, holy cow, they're not wearing gloves, they don't wear masks and doing this research. They're doing it in what's called a BSL-2 as opposed to a BSL-4. Most of the research that we think escaped was not done in the appropriate lab. And the State Department knew about it, but we've had no hearings about this. They refused to give us information. 15 million people died, 1 million Americans died, and you won't give us information. So what I would ask is look at our request.
15 million people died. 1 million Americans died.
This isn't partisan. This should be about discovering the origins of this, the scientific.
And that was for the problem, not for the solution. So the solution is a whole nother number that's not over yet.
Community is about 50-50 now, and I would hope that we suspect the Chinese of not being honest and withholding information, but it's sad that the U.S. government is withholding information from its representatives.
The U.S. government is holding back information from its representatives. That's like, okay, this is military, just so you know. Like, it's so frustrating. Well, praise be to God.
I'll take back your request again, Senator. I would urge a briefing perhaps in a skiff with the intelligence community on this.
Oh, let's go into a little tent and like so nobody can hear what we have to say. What we just got through saying, lady, like there's too many secrets. Okay, we're at DEFCON 5 or whatever now. This is the end. We're almost at a home stretch, guys. This is it. Maybe 7 months. I'm hoping we're out of here. Now, I sound like Noah, but I'm saying get on the ark because it's about time to go home. And it doesn't take much to just like, God knows, and just hit your knees and say, God, I'm humbling myself. You made me. You deserve it all. Take my life. Do what you want with my life. I want to live for you. Even if it's for, 7 months, you still get the same place we get. Like, just go ahead and hit your knees. Even the globalists could hit their knees if they wanted to. But it's too much pride. It's what Satan's problem was. Pride.
Because as you know, there is not a single view about this particular set of issues, but I understand your desire to understand what occurred.
We're asking you for unclassified information that you hold, not intel.
I understand that.
Unclassified. We just want the unclassified stuff. Oh my gosh. They're not even giving them that, Like, they're not even... Well, thank you guys for watching. I love you all. And may God bless your weekend and everything. Tomorrow's Friday. So, have a wonderful weekend. And I'll try to get on here more, okay? Thank you so much for watching, because it means a lot for me to just share it with people, just to share what I'm watching with you. It means more than me just looking at it and be like, day after day. You guys can like talk to each other, and you can talk to me, and we can feel for each other because we're all in the same boat. So, I love you all. Thank you for coming.